man. It's coming.
Every week, folks, there's another run or walk in Jamaica. But before you head to the start line, are you wearing the right shoe for your foot type? Podiatrist Angela Davis is going to help us to figure this out. And somehow they've managed to get me to put my foot.
Because it's so pretty.
No, it don't stay good. And it dry. If I didn't know, I would have brought some lotion, but it's too late now. So I'm putting my foot in a bucket of water. Good morning, Miss Angie.
Good morning,
How are you
Miss Angie.
doing?
Good morning. Very well indeed, thank you.
So why am I putting my foot in a bucket of water? What's the experiment?
Today what we're going to do is see what foot type you have. We're going to see whether you're flat-footed or you have a high arch.
Okay.
And depending on whether the type of foot you have, depends on the kind of sneaker that you would get if you're going to be running.
Okay. All right. Tell me when.
So what we're going to do is we're going to get a bit of blotting paper.
Right.
Here. And you don't wet your foot too much.
Too late, Miss Angie.
I know. Oh, gosh. Let's wipe it off a little. If you take your foot out for me.
Let's just...
Now that the foot drowned it.
And then stand up and then put your foot down on that piece of paper.
Now that the foot drowned it.
This is what I usually do when people go to foreign.
And then
they're my foot size. So
there we go.
Buy shoes.
You can put your foot, you can sit down.
All right.
So this gives us a good image. Which camera shall I hold it to so we can see?
I can borrow this.
Oh, yes, you certainly can. So this tells me that you've got quite a high arched foot because this area is all empty.
You're not missing there. It's there. See there? You just don't have the paper.
She has a very high arched foot. So that means you've got quite a rigid foot, which is quite a good thing to have.
A rigid
in certain ways, yeah. Quite a good thing to have because your foot's more stable.
Oh.
When you have a high arch, your foot's more stable?
Yes, it's more stable. But the problem is it means that when you run, you need a lot of shock absorption in your sneaker. So it's good to have a sneaker with a good solid sole, quite thick in the sole, and lots of shock absorption. If you're flat-footed, which most Jamaicans tend to be, you have what we call a pronated foot. So your foot tends to roll inwards a lot. And if your foot rolls in, thank you, then you tend to need a shoe that's more stable and a lots more what we call posting on the shoe. And lots of pressure around and support around the ankle, around this area, and around the heel.
Okay. And what if you don't get the requisite support? All sorts of other things can manifest.
Then you'll start having problems with your knees, your ankles, possibly, and you'll soon feel the pain and the discomfort of when you're wearing them. So it's very important if you're doing like a 5K run or a 10K run that you have the correct footwear.
What about normal to medium arch?
Normal to medium arch, usually you can get a fairly standard sneaker, but you should always try and get a gentle arch support in your shoe. Go to somewhere reputable to buy them as well. Don't just think you can just pick something, go down to the market and get something, or don't buy online as well. I often advise people not to buy online because you need to try a sneaker on. Get the correct fit, make sure there's at least a centimetre between your toe and the end of the shoe. Always wear them with socks and make sure you walk up and down in the shop regularly in them, a lot in them, so you can feel whether they're comfortable or not.
Extended wear. I see a lot of people walking in, you know, those very flat.
Yes. Yes.
Like
just regular
flat sneakers that you would wear, like Converse type.
Yeah, no, not fit for purpose at all. It's a fashion shoe, a Converse shoe, and because they're made of canvas, if it gets wet, they tend to shrink. So certainly, if you're doing any kind of distance running, or if you're wearing sneakers regularly, which I wish everybody was, because they're the best type of shoe, most ergonomic shoe for your foot, then you need to get something fit for person, a decent brand as well. There are many brands out there, but something that is fit for purpose. A decent lace, as I say, always wear with socks, the lace done up, and at least that centimetre between the end of the toe and the shoe.
What are you saying to me, Angela? It shrinks. So if you buy the shoes small already, then you're in trouble?
What I always tell people, when you're buying a shoe, don't buy anything before 3 p.m. If I had my way, I'd have all shoe shops closed before, or open after 3 p.m.
Why is this?
Because during the day your foot swells. Even if it swells microscopically, it's still everybody's foot swells slightly, even children. Your bone structure changes slightly if you've been walking on your feet for long periods of time. So the best time to buy a shoe is when your foot's at its worst possible situation, which is usually after 3 o'clock. So that's when you buy any shoe, regardless of it being a sneaker or any of the lovely shoes that you ladies are wearing.
You bought some soles for us?
Yeah, well, what I've shown some examples. There are some people who, even with buying sneakers, they still find it hard or uncomfortable, the sneakers that are off the shelf. So sometimes we make bespoke insoles for those people who take their running very seriously, which have arch supports, which have things what we call posting on them and such like. This is one often I use, and I build up underneath it what the patient needs or what the client requires.
Do you put like gel soles in there?
No, not gel.
Never gel?
Not gel. No, but we do what we call posting, especially on the back, just to put the foot at the right angle for optimum service from the sneaker.
Wow.
What happens if you don't correct it? Like if you keep buying the wrong sneakers and doing all this running and walking and your feet aren't getting the right support, what are some of the things that may happen?
Your body will tell you that you're doing the wrong thing.
Back start or too, your
back, knee, hip, ankle, all over you can start getting the pain. Heel as well. So it's very important if you're going to do distance running or you're going to do any kind of proper running, like you're going to be doing like at least a 5K, you need to make sure the sneakers are correct because you're running on your feet and you only get the one pair, so you want to make sure you take care of them.
Not just running too, if you're in jobs that require that you're on your feet a lot. I notice nurses in the US, Canada, etc. are always in sneakers. I don't know if that's the same here.
No, I find it very hard to convince my patients to wear sneakers. I'm always in sneakers, but I think it's not a very Jamaican thing to do. Also because it's a hot country.
Angela, we have to dress up.
This is it, and look how you ladies look so nice. And but I tell you, I bet I'm more comfortable than both of you are now.
We cannot wear my sneakers to work, Miss Angela, so we have no choice.
Angie, but you know why you say pride not feel no pain.
I've heard that one. I heard my mother say that one several times.
I don't buy shoes that squeeze my toe anymore. Thank you very much for this education.
Thank you so much.
Very important. I hope you guys learned something this morning from Angela Davis, podiatrist, helping us to figure it out. We'll be taking a break. Yes, Randy? Break. Soon come back. I'm going to wrap it up when we come back.
Marvin, do I want
I know I can put on my shoes.